week in Big Brother and reality TV. I am Rachel Reilly Villegas, joined by the amazing
Jenn Hoffman? Me? Moi? I decided to assume it was me, not Bobby. Bobby is amazing. I just decided to jump in there. Hi, I am Jenn Hoffman from The Apprentice and also a reality TV reporter and one of your favorite reality queens.
And I'm Bobby Goodsby.
amazing.
And I'm Bobby Goodsby. I'm just happy to be here with you guys talking about Big Brother and other reality TV shows. Got a lot to get into, so I'm excited to get into it.
Okay, so you know when like life comes at you fast? Life came at us fast with Big Brother because we had an eviction last night of chemo and they wasted no time to have an HOH and noms. So bye aloha chemo and aloha new HOH Chelsea.
Woo, Chelsea.
Yes, Chelsea is a new HOH.
Hot.
Yes.
I think so. I like the second half of the show where it's Mackenzie, Chelsea, Mackenzie, Chelsea, Mackenzie, Chelsea. What I don't like is that they are still working together. I get it. Like, I love that two powerhouse women are working together. I do. I'm a girl's girl through and through. But at the end of the day, Chelsea's going to have to cut Mackenzie, or Mackenzie's going to have to cut
Chelsea is not working with Mackenzie. Mackenzie thinks she's working with Chelsea. That's why it's funny. Because we also have we have our two noms.
We do. Okay.
So that's why life came at us very fast. It was see you later, aloha chemo, which we can get into a little bit of that and other stuff, like the ramifications of that. And then we have Chelsea get HOH, and then immediately we get her noms, and they are Mackenzie and Cam.
Woo! But everyone knows week 4 noms don't really matter. Like, week 4 of the season I won, Adam won, and he did not nominate me, which was very surprising. So this is the thing. Week 4, the veto winner chooses who's final 3. And with that being said, if the veto winner is also the HOH, which she can do whatever she wants at that point, Chelsea can. But Chelsea won't vote, so then she's leaving the final vote up to Rubina, which there's no way I don't see her doing that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if Chelsea wins veto, she pulls Cam off and lets Cam make that final knock at Mackenzie. I think final 4, even if she nominated Cam and Mackenzie, I don't think it matters. They know she's a fan. She knows final 4 is about the veto.
It matters. Right? It matters if she does not want to be up against Mackenzie, and Mackenzie, who's a comp beast, wins veto.
But they all play veto. So, like, this is a good thing for Chelsea to secure her safety, right? This is a good thing for her to be like, okay, I am 100% safe. I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about going home. I will tell you, this also was my week. That was the scariest week for me because Adam won HOH, Portia won veto, and I was like, they could like actually just get rid of me if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I literally had to follow Portia around like a puppy that week to keep me because it was in Portia's best interest to keep me versus keeping Jordan in the house. But
it turned out not to be.
Yeah. So, for Portia, I mean, look,
there's Pandora's box and a bunch of other stuff, but yes, okay. So this it helps me understand this because I've always gotten a little confused at this when it's the final 4. Mm-hmm. So I know Chelsea is safe. That's great, fine. And then what's even safer is that she has made all these people feel safe with her. In particular, Cam and Mackenzie. She hasn't, by keeping Rubina last week when Rubina made the pit. Rubina had gotten wind that the house might flip and send her out, and they didn't. That instills a little more trust in Chelsea. So Chelsea's sitting pretty as HOH and with trust. And then she knows the most likely comp winner is Mackenzie.
Right.
I mean, the veto winner is Mackenzie. Because Cam just can't win anything.
No.
I mean, watch you win 6 times.
And we know final 4 is always a puzzle. It's some sort of like, day 32, blah, blah, blah happened. And you have to like put stuff in order. You have to like think critically, which I'm guessing Rubina has not been paying attention because bless her heart, she did that other comp where they had to like think critically and she had no idea. And then Cam, well, he can't even put the comics together. So what does that say?
Mackenzie also likes
D1 football is hard. Or no, sorry, D1 football is easy.
Yeah. Chelsea's done really well on like remembering things. So if it's a combination of remembering and a puzzle, Chelsea has done very well about that. But Mackenzie, maybe it's her construction background, or maybe she's in construction because the way her brain thinks. But when she does comp, she makes a plan first. I remember when they had to do the walking on the steps, she made a plan. With BB Comics, she made a plan. With everything, she will state to the diary, like, because this goes this way, I'm going to do this in this order. And then she's always successful. She's never failed when she has had an opportunity to have a plan with it. So if it's something like you must remember and put something together, she'll be like, this is the order of operations. And she tends to be correct. So,
now,
and
Rubina is like, that Mackenzie has been paying attention all year to what has been going on, or all season, to what's been going on in the house, because that's my biggest thing with Mackenzie. As much as I do think she could like totally knock this out, no problem, I wonder if she knew and has been paying attention, because I don't think she's like a super fan like Chelsea, where Chelsea knows like she needs to know every single day and every single thing that's happened. I don't see Mackenzie going back and like talking about that. You know what I mean? Like,
if it comes down to needing to remember, like, you know, facts about the house, what happened, what order stuff happened, like that, like, Chelsea definitely will remember that. I'd be shocked if Chelsea didn't do much better at that than Mackenzie. And Cam is just, doesn't remember anything, doesn't pay attention to anything, is asleep. And Rubina's a wild card. Rubina
Cam's thinking about his dogs in the crib.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking about dogs, give me 1 second. My dog's freaking out right now. I gotta figure out why. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But I feel like I think truly think that Chelsea should win this Final Four veto. And if she does, I think she's going to pull Cam off. So put Rubina up so that Cam can make that final vote against Mackenzie, because I don't think Chelsea wants to be the one to get Mackenzie out, because she doesn't want to lose her trust and her vote.
Her whole thing is no blood on your hands.
Right. No blood on your hands. No, my other point was that Rubina remember the three girls were in the backyard. They were talking like, oh, there's never been a final three girls together. Yes. There has been, but whatever. So I think Rubina is team final three girls. And I just don't know what's actually in Chelsea's head, because I don't feel like they've given us any diary room like footage of her saying like, is she like final three girls to the end, or is she like Cam to the end? Like, I see her look at Cam and talk to Cam, and I feel like she's Cam to the end.
Yeah, if I had to put money on it, I would say she would choose to take Cam to the end, but she's so smart that she's prepared for all the different scenarios. So she has Rubina thinking there's the girls thing. She has Mackenzie thinking that they're besties and they want to go up against the best competitor. But I think in her heart and her plan, if things were to go her way, she's sitting pretty no matter which way things go. But if she had things go her way, I believe she would want to sit next to Cam, because it's her friend. It's the person she wants to go to the end with, and who's going to vote for Cam to win. Especially because we had that.
Everybody knows he's fine too.
Yeah, and we got to see the jury house, which was great, because we had discussed this last week. We were talking about whether it was going to be like old school jury, where it's like they value strategy, or it's going to be more like emotional jury, like, oh, they screwed me over, or I don't like that they lied, or they're playing too smart, like, which is so weird because this is Big Brother. So when the jury, especially T-Core, was like totally down with like, you know, the like manipulation play and smart gameplay, and Quinn liked it, and then Leah said I would vote for Chelsea despite totally knowing Chelsea was her demise. I was like, we are playing Big Brother! Like, I was so excited.
I got really excited about that too.
Yeah, I would say this too. As far as Chelsea, I think Chelsea's trying her best to play all angles right now. That's why we see Mackenzie Cam nominated. She wants to let Rabina feel safe so that worst case scenario, Rabina wins the power of veto. Okay, great. Rabina was already off the block. She's going to feel great with Chelsea. So that way, if a girls thing does happen, she has that against Mackenzie that, hey, she kept you safe at the Final Four. You know, I'm clearly with you. I'm not with the other two. And then the other two, she's going to Mackenzie, be like, hey, let's make sure that we keep Rabina off the block so that Rabina feels comfortable with us. And then Cam is just Cam, and she can say whatever to Cam, and he's going to believe it. So at the end of the day, her doing exactly what she's done by keeping Rabina off the block is playing all fields, where she has an out for every single option.
Yes. Yeah. And it's exactly what it's playing to the look. I put Cam up, Rabina, so I really am down for the all girl alliance, you know, and then Cam, to her, she's just like, oh, we'll just get you off the block. Don't worry. Like, you're basically a pawn. This is just for me not to freak other people out. Because I know that on the live feeds, Cam and Chelsea, at least from what they showed, had the most extensive conversation. So I believe you knew he was going up. They were talking. I didn't catch everything they were talking about, but they talked before it. So it wasn't a surprise. So I think he's kind of in on the plan of like believing he's the final two. But Chelsea in her head is like, well, now I have every option.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I think that, so if Chelsea win, or sorry, not Chelsea, Rabina won veto, which I don't see happening. But if that did happen, does Rabina stick with the final three girls and get rid of Cam?
I think Rabina has been so diehard about the girls' alliance that she would do that, which would be dumb because obviously everybody wants to sit next to Cam. But it's unless she like wakes up and has like a moment of like, oh my God, this is my chance to make a big move, to do something. She thinks, and also because she was kept off the block, she has no reason to believe the all girls alliance isn't happening and to betray it. So I don't know. I think that, what do you think, Bobby?
She definitely shouldn't go with that. She should not want to take those two girls with her to the final. She should want to keep Cam all day because she beats Cam, in my opinion, all day if it's Cam final two. And I think that's her only out. At this point, Rabina is drawn dead unless she gets to the end somehow, some way with Cam. And that basically means she has to win out.
Yes. Yeah, so if she goes to the end with Cam, you know she has T4 and Chemo, and she still had good friendships with everyone else. And then also because thank God we saw the jury house that they respect game and they know Cam has not been playing. So they'll be like, wow, Rabina was able to like, look, she had the showmance and everyone thought that she was, you know, she was there because of that. And she managed to get herself out of that. And she managed to do this. And she has won a bunch of comps and she did really well on the wall. And like, they'll go over all those things and be like, Rabina is clearly stronger than Cam. So it is her only way of winning.
Well, literally.
Rabina sits next to Chelsea or Mackenzie. It's like,
And with a Rabina final 3 HOH, Rabina, she could be Cam. So it could be Chelsea versus Rabina. It could be close if it did happen. But if Rabina got out Mackenzie too, she would have that. She wouldn't.
Yeah.
Rabina never beats Chelsea, but Rabina does beat Cam. I agree.
Yes. Yeah. And the other thing too that I wanted to say was if Rabina has any out in this game, she has to take Cam. And the fact that in the episode, we saw Mackenzie and Chelsea both talk about how they're worried about Cam's social game. Like, I'm sorry, like that just like screams red flags to me that like not so much Chelsea, more so Mackenzie, that you don't see how much of a goat he is. Like, it's obvious and it's plain as day obvious. Maybe it's different in the house. It's a little bit more complicated, but I still don't understand. If you're thinking, man, this guy is throwing competitions, he doesn't win anything, and you just give it a slight bit of like thought and be like, okay, maybe he just sucks at this, then you realize he's just a shitty player. He's just a shitty player at this game.
You know what? It is, I agree with you, but the problem is in the house, like, okay, in my head, I went through 7,000 scenarios about who I would beat. And when I was thinking in my head, I thought, well, they might vote for, I was against Adam Pock or Portia.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, they might vote for Adam because they had been friends with Adam. And like, he didn't win anything, but like, I am not their best friend, but he is. So it's like, you go through all these things. So with the social game aspect, like Cam has played a social game. Like he's not beating any of these girls, period.
Mm-hmm.
But like from their point of view, they might see it as like, well, everybody likes, who doesn't like Cam? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like literally everybody in that jury loves Cam. So like they're all friends with him, but there's no way that like they're not looking at it like, they're looking at it in a scared, like, what if scenario. That's why I think in your head, you get in that what if scenario and you don't think about all the other things. But yeah, there's no way he would ever beat any of them.
Well, it's also, he didn't get to see what the jury was saying, so he doesn't know what type of jury this is. And if he has only watched recent Big Brothers, he could be thinking or anybody in that house could be thinking to themselves, oh, people go with who they like or who they thought played fair or nicely, but they don't realize that these people are really playing Big Brother. And they were all like, damn, if Chelsea's really running the house and also running Mackenzie's game, like, I am definitely voting for her. Leah's like, oh my God, she got me good. I'm voting for her. Angela's the only wild card because Angela is just out of her mind. But Angela also, like, will change her mind last minute. So it doesn't matter because she doesn't have influence over what the other people are going to do. So it's like, and T-Core is such a voice of reason and people respect what she says. And since she is like kind of standing to the who's the best player, who like almost like Survivor style, like who outplayed, they don't realize that Cam doesn't have a chance no matter who likes him. Like Chemo maybe more so would have, because Chemo was really like had this beloved thing to him where they just cared about him so much. It looked like they were going to cry every time like you brought up Chemo and his story is whatever. But Cam doesn't, as far as we know, like have a story. When they were like,
there's no Cam like sympathy vote. There's no Cam, like he is everybody's best friend. He's, Chelsea has a crush on him. Maybe Mackenzie does. We don't know. But like when it comes to voting for a $750,000 Big Brother winner, like no shot, especially against Chelsea or I think there's no chance against a Mackenzie. And even with the Rubina, no. Like, because T-Core and Chemo will always vote Rubina. Leah loves Rubina, even though she like kind of had her thing with Cam. I think she still likes Rubina more. Angela, who knows? Angela's such a wild card. Quinn, is a Rubina person. So even no matter what, I think that Cam is playing for second place. And maybe he's known that all along, so he just doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm guessing Cam came on here to get like more press and recognizable and whatever.
What's the worst thing though? Okay, I actually was telling my daughter this last night because I was trying to explain to her why they were saying throwing comps. I had to explain what it meant. And I was like, okay, Cam is he's a physical therapist. I was like, he's a certified personal trainer, and I was like, I think he's has his yoga certification too. So I was like, he is supposed to be like this physical person. I was like, his social media, his TikTok, his Instagram are all about like athleticism and all about that type of stuff. And I was like, he's not doing a good promo for himself by not being that athletically agile. But I will say, by always being calm, they didn't show all the meditations he led, which was like a lot. Even though they made it a negative thing, when he reset himself, took his hand out of the thing when they were doing the tiny microchip, and he said he did like a quick like meditation to calm himself. That's a good thing. They just turned it into bad, like he took a break. He may be pivoting in that direction of like, I have such a big following, I'm going to show myself that I'm like the calm, collected, like, yes, I didn't win, but like, basically he needs to become a meditation teacher and like how to
he's
be
doing
chill
a great
amongst
job
chaos
of like
person.
getting his name out there, not causing any type of feeling either way. You don't love him, you don't hate him, you just think he's probably a nice guy. And he's like a bro. Like, at the end of the day, he's like, you know, he's doing a good job at what he probably came here to do. It's just that it's disappointing because we want people that are here to play Big Brother. And we want people that are like gonna be like, if you're the D1 athlete, then I want to see you kind of like win at physical comps, right?
Like, and the thing is with him too, I feel like if he is playing it up just for the social media and for the following or what have you, and he knows he's like not going to win the game, this isn't the good way to do it, because this is not what the fans want to see. I guarantee you, if we go right now, Tucker's going to have 20 times more fans and viewers on Instagram and what have you than Cam, who's still in the house, because he's entertaining and he's someone people want to know more about, and they're entertained by him. They want to see more of him. This isn't the way to do it. Like, you're just boring. And you see him you see him in the house, just like he doesn't even want to contribute to like the little things that they do.
Rachel, I want you to say something, but then I'm going to tell you a theory, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to me and why everyone started to realize they were calling it Franken edited, but also realized that like everybody who's seen my season The Apprentice has been like, that wasn't you. Like, they had like a copy of you. That wasn't you, right? But Rachel, say what you're going to say, and then I'll say my theory on Cam based on what happened to me, because I feel like it might be similar.
Well, I feel like that we're not seeing a lot of Cam's big personality because like of the edit, which is like he's not involved in like the direct storyline, so we don't really get a lot of DRs and we don't get a lot of narrating and all that stuff. But then I was going to say there's 2 points to what you're saying, Bobby. Yes, like Tucker probably has like the Big Brother fandom who's like behind him, but at the end of the day, like I had to learn the hard way that like sometimes it's better to like you don't want to be like this super polarizing person, because you have to come back and
have a career.
Social media can be really cruel. Like,
I get that.
That's exactly the point I was going to make. So what I was going to say is that I realized, so I went in and, you know, when you have to audition for The Apprentice, they do mock boardrooms, and my casting people said, you're not being vicious enough. Like, you got to go in there more because like they're not sure about you. So I went in guns blazing, and then from then just like slayed, slaughtered, murdered. I was told I was Trump's #1 pick, like first draft, because I went in there and was like locked. I like became a character, like, and he was like, she is going to be the most like, you know, not like an Omarosa because I'm like lying, whatever, but like tells the truth, but also like will slaughter you like to your face. Then I got on the show and we were winning, but I realized there was a lot of like, I just all of a sudden I just thought about like my career, what my plans were for the future, who I wanted to be, and who I actually am. And I was like, I am somebody who will kind of straight shoot and be honest, but I'm not vicious the way I was like in casting. Like, people cry. Like, Amy left sobbing during casting. And I was like, I don't want to make anybody do that. And then I was like, I have to think about my career. I was already a radio personality and a TV personality, and I'm polarizing as it is because of my opinions. So I thought, if I now realize I don't think I'm going to win. First of all, like, as I always say, the winner's not always the winner. Like, $250,000 is a lot. So I would be way more interested in winning that. But on most shows, I always think what you want out of is the winner. Like, my best example is Omarosa has never won. She didn't win The Apprentice. She didn't win Celebrity Apprentice. She didn't win House of Villains. She hasn't won anything she's ever been on, but she goes by Omarosa, like Prince, Oprah. Like, she has a one-word name. So she's the winner. She's the biggest winner Apprentice has ever had, and she's never won. Most people can't even name winners anymore. So I went in with that mentality of thinking 2 things. I either need to do that, or I need to preserve my career and decide where I want to go next. And I feel like Cam is, they don't show everything. It's like how he's not being called to the diary room. But on live feeds, they mention how much he leads meditations and how he's gone through the house and given them calm down talks, and how he's been there for everyone and a voice of reason. So the issue and the disconnect, and this is what I was getting to, is that I do think Cam has realized that he can't win. So he tried to be a character that is the meditation guy, the guru, the voice of reason, the leader, thinking about his career post this. And none of it's showing up in the show because it's not exciting. So instead, he looks like he's said and done nothing. But because they're mentioning how much he's doing in terms of meditation, mediation, like listening to people, like being friends, and that's why they keep saying he has such a good social game, and we kind of see it, but not really. He's been like everyone's like therapist, they vent, like leader, calming force, and it's not exciting television, so it got completely basically edited out, but we know it's happening because it gets mentioned. So the long thing about this is that I think Cam wasn't as much as a lump of a log as we think. I think he decided, I'm going to be this like very like show up as like a strong man who's calm. Maybe I'm not winning if I'm not winning these competitions. Instead, it's strong mind, strong mentally, calm, perseverance.
Or is he just are we thinking about it too much? And
I think that's the case. I love you guys. I respectfully disagree. I just think that Cam, a great example, right? A great example. He seems like an amazing dude outside the house, but the reality TV character I'm getting, to give you guys an example of what we're seeing on the show, and I don't think it's like he's hiding anything. I just think that's who he is, and he's just kind of boring TV, is when you saw them last night where they were doing all those, posing and sleeping and all this stuff, in the background while Julie's, bringing them back from commercial break or what have you. All of them are in character. All of them are doing it, having fun. And then there's Cam. And Cam's like, like, that's Cam. That's just Cam. It's just, there's no act. There's no, I'm trying to protect my career. It's just, he's boring TV.
I think he's like a fun, but I think he was trying to put forward a certain, because he mentions it. He literally says, I steadied my hand and did a meditation. I don't think that it's a big master plan. I just think when he realized he wasn't winning, he pivoted. This is it. I think this is how this gets decided. When he is out of the house, his first video that's just Big Brother talk or addressing something, if it is a meditation video, then we know.
Jenn, that's because he would have watched this podcast and realized he had a career, because he does not know that. He's
definitely watching this.
Having a big moment where he's like, I could be the next guru. Like, he's fun on pre-made TikTok 90-second videos, but you can't put a social media personality always on reality TV. There's some exceptions,
right,
and expect them to perform on a reality TV show if it's short form or long form or competition or docufollow. I don't care. It's just like we saw on The Amazing Race when they had a full season of YouTubers. We saw like it wasn't anything epic. Like they're people that are 90-second short form people are great at 90-second short form.
Especially if they're planned. They're not live streamers. You can have live streamers. Yes. Mm-hmm. But look, I just want to make one thing clear. I don't think Cam came into the house thinking, I want to get on Big Brother so I can become a meditation guru and pivot my career to that. I just think that happens to be a big part of his personality and who he is and who he kind of ended up getting relegated to being and who he had to be in the house. And I think he started to embrace that, is what I'm saying, more so than being worried about it. Like, I don't think it was like mom where I freaked out and realized I'm an on-air personality, and if I'm too bitchy, then I'm gonna, like, I can be just snarky enough and just whatever enough, but I have to be liked. I knew that. I knew I have to leave liked, not a villain, because of my career. So I think Cam is exactly what you said. He's not thinking like that. He is kind of a little bit of a lump on a log. But the one thing he does have going for him, and that I know he's been pushing, is like mental clarity, mental strength. It's just not coming across. So I think my prediction is that we'll see like a bunch of meditation videos coming out from Cam from this. But it was unintentional because he's not doing anything.
Yeah. No, he's not. And I think it's funny you say that, even because I really, really think that Cam was cast because he is pretty. Like, he's a D1 athlete.
Athletic,
He's really good looking. Like, there you go.
They cast him because they thought he was going to be the competitive athlete, typical, not as much as an alpha male, but like that calm, cool presence, beast.
And his videos are great. Like watching his social media, you'd think like, I like this guy. Like he's a likable. I guarantee everyone was like, he's great. He's likable.
Friendly.
He's so attractive. He's a D1 athlete, so he's probably competitive.
They thought they were getting a Tucker or a Matt, and they got a Adam Pock.
Yeah,
lesser, at least less entertaining Adam Pock.
That's the worst. Okay, that's like, that if somebody.
And I would say Adam Pock was more entertaining.
And Adam had his little bacon.
Yeah, at least there was something. He's just
he was messier and more dramatic, or his mind was more all over the place. But yeah, that's true.
The only screen time Cam gets is about Chelsea being jealous.
Yeah, that's true. And I also thought they cast Cam to be in a showmance, so I was a little disappointed that he did not showmance with anyone.
No, it was like they had a Leah little thing and then a little Mackenzie thing, and I swear to God, I think he was just so afraid of Chelsea that even if he did like either of them, he was just like, I can't. Yeah. Chelsea's terrifying.
Chelsea definitely likes him. I wonder if after the show they will have a thing, or
I thought maybe. I
think she's friend zoned.
You think? I'm not sure.
We'll see.
I thought so, but then
things happen in Vegas.
I mean, guys will be guys too. Like, let's be real. Like, he's got an attractive girl that's into him. Things happen. But
probably has a girlfriend at home, but he doesn't want to mention it because he wanted to keep the girls interested and on the edge. But like, isn't going for it?
It's not like on his socials at all.
Oh my God! Wait, this is so funny. I just realized. Cam's like the most boring person in the house, and no one should be talking about him. And we just talked about him for 9 hours.
We like talked for like 20-30 minutes about just Cam.
We just did all Cam's work for him.
Yeah, because it's frustrating. No. Cam should be a better player. Like there's everything going for him, and nothing that he is doing to make it easy on himself, and that's what's frustrating. It's like it's right there. Even the gameplay, it's like you see who you can beat, or like who you have a better chance of beating, and it's not Chelsea, and it's not Mackenzie. Oh, I'm gonna go to the end with Chelsea and Mackenzie.
Yeah, no, yeah, maybe. Well, maybe we don't know. He could surprise us because if Cam was to win Final Four, and then somehow pulls out a final HOH win, he probably would bring Rubina. Still would lose, but I mean that's his best shot.
He doesn't realize it. Yeah.
Right.
He thinks he has the best social game.
He thinks that because other people did so many people dirty that because previous seasons have been so social game that maybe people will be mad. Like maybe bitter jury will be like, oh my God, Chelsea masterminded everything, sent us all out, did whatever. And Cam was so nice and he never did anything wrong. So like maybe he thinks like that. You know what? We're thinking too deep. Cam's not thinking anything right now.
And nobody has been a mastermind this season. There's no there's no one that is like an outspoken master. Like Quinn was the closest to whatever. He wasn't even a mastermind. But like there's no villain. Yeah. There's no there's no one that's right, and there's no one that's going to get to the end, and people would be like, "You screwed me over,"
There's no mastermind heel of the season. Like, there's only people that you're rooting for that were also masterminds, like Chelsea, and then the comp beast and Mackenzie, and then just the lovable background character of Rubina, and then there's Cam. Right. But like, I forgot what I was going to say. There was something I was going to say about that. But yeah,
that there's no like villain mastermind Dan Giesling that's like pissing everyone off, or a Paul who is like, lying to people's faces and all that stuff. So there's because there's none of that.
Sorry, go ahead, Rachel.
No, I was just gonna say because there's none of that. It's just not the same kind of Big Brother.
Well, it's because we lost Dr. Will when Joseph got evicted.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, and also this isn't big, like there's no bitter jury here. It's not Big Brother 14. It's not Big Brother 19 where you just have a bitter jury. So they're going to go for the more likable social person. Like everyone in this house loves each other. On the way out, they're singing and dancing and hugging and crying. Like that's not a bitter jury. So you've got to understand that if you're not playing the game, they're not going to give it to you because everyone's friends. Sorry, Cam, everyone's friends.
there's a really good point, because that means there's a lack of self-awareness, but also awareness around them. Because when people have left out the door, there hasn't been that like angered, dead stare look, somebody storm out the door. Everyone's like hugged and, you know, like, literally saying like kumbaya in the yard when they knew somebody got backstabbed and was going home. So they should be more, not just self-aware, but aware that this is a very forgiving, friendly, loving place. But if they are assuming that, not bitter jury, but like maybe a feelings hurt jury because they do care about each other so much, they could be worried about that. And what they don't realize is that finally we're back to a jury that's like, okay, who kicked ass? Who's the mastermind? Who played the best? Like, they really want to do a fair, totally Big Brother style vote, but like they don't know that. And I could see why they wouldn't know that, because it has been a very emotional, we love each other game. So I think they're thinking not about some of the juries that have been about like fairness or you screwed me over, but maybe instead of like who's best friends and who likes each other the most, because that has been such a theme.
This season of Big Brother was a 90s sitcom.
Yes.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
They
like
have a song. Don't forget the moment.
We've got 10 songs.
In the Big Brother house. Yeah.
And then last night singing to Julie, and then Julie being like, you're my favorite cast. Obviously not true, but her saying you're my favorite final, you know, whatever. I think Julie was like so honestly touched by that, because like Julie's
and she would not be lying, because Julie is like such a feel good, happy person now and wants Big Brother to be like a feel good, happy show. So this is like Julie's perfect Big Brother season.
Was it not the most cringe thing though? Like, I was like, oh, where'd they going? How long is this gonna go? Like, I'm dying right now on the inside. Please just stop. Like, you know, like that's how I feel. And I'm like, they're all into it. They're like, I'm like, please stop. No, God, no, please. And then Julie's just like, oh, I love you. And now you're just fueling the fire. Stop, Julie.
And look, I was part of like I did sing at school in like the school plays, and I actually was like in the gospel choir, which is really weird, because my voice is not that great, but somehow like I can just kind of jazz hands it up. But I felt like they were being like the embarrassing, dorky people that are in like the Glee Club that you're like, I can't. Even though I might be one of those people.
It is a 90s sitcom.
Yeah, I'm not trying to diss those people, because I am those people, but like they were like theater nerd Glee Club people that you're like this about.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
That's what it is. We're watching Saved by the Big Brother Bell.
Yeah.
There's more drama on Saved by the Bell.
I mean, good for them. Like, it was like, at least they sounded good, and it wasn't like completely cringe, but it was like listening to someone who has a terrible like goodbye speech, or like a terrible like plea speech, where they're trying to get your votes, like Leah last week, where she kept messing up, like, oh dang it, no, you know, like it's like it was like that, where it's like, oh, nails on the chalkboard, just keep going, just like get it over with, come on please, like that's how it feels.
Leah was messing up her speech because she has ADHD and can't figure out what to say.
I know, I get that, and I'm not trying to make fun of her for. I'm just saying, like, you're just like, oh, I'm rooting for you. Just stop, though. Like, just like wrap it up, you know?
Yeah, it's not making fun. It's reality. Like, if I do ADHD overdrive, like I just did when I just talked about Cam for 7,000 years, and now we live on Mars, and we're still talking about Cam, I'll be like, oh, that's my ADHD, because I just got hyperfixated on Cam for absolutely no reason, and thinking about every possible. Like how Rachel earlier said she was thinking 7,000 different things about whatever. I just thought 7,000 things about Cam and decided to let you know everything about it. Like, you know, so it's fine. Like, you should make fun of that. Please make fun of me. Everyone, like, be like, Jenn, control your ADHD. And it's nothing wrong with saying that. It's not demeaning. Like, it's more demeaning, like, to like, infantilize or be like, oh, you know, you have ADHD. Like, we can't say anything. We can't make fun of you. Like, I'm like, oh my God, Leah's ADHD was so bad. She couldn't even make like one little speech. I'm not making fun of her. I'm being like, totally like understand it and like facts, you know?
Absolutely.
It's Jonny Fairplay, reality TV icon, Survivor Hall of Famer, and I'm talking today about work money. Work Money is a non-profit organization that focuses on lowering costs and raising incomes for all Americans to make American life more affordable and American families more economically secure. They provide products, services, perks, benefits, tips, and tools to help members improve their financial lives. It's time to level up and make more money in this economy. We're talking getting rich. Now, this sweepstakes is giving away $50,000. You can use this to pay your rent, your mortgage. Imagine what you can do with all the money that you'll save. Now, this is put on by Work Money, and this site has all these sick benefits, and it's free. Go sign up right now and get more rich. Now, listen, you can change your life. Now, what would you do if you didn't have to pay your rent or mortgage for a year? Listen. Sign up right now for free. Link is available right here in the show notes. Check them out. Personally, I'd get more pinball machines. I'm Jonny Fairplay. I wouldn't lie about that. It's Work Money. More money.
Well, I feel like this season has been really crazy. I'm very excited for the final to figure out who's going to win. I really still think my money's on Chelsea. I don't want a Chelsea Mackenzie final too, but I think it's been a really fun season to watch. And I do, even though it's a 90s sitcom, I do like it. It was a little bit of a breath of fresh air compared to last season and the seasons we've had in the past.
Wait, why don't you want a Mackenzie Chelsea one? Because I feel like that'd be interesting because they'd have to go like gameplay versus comp beast.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, I'm such a Big Brother like Bible person where it's like Chelsea clearly played the better Big Brother game, and like if it's a Chelsea Mackenzie, I don't know who's gonna win, kind of thing.
I think it's pretty. I think it's Chelsea all the way. I think that they're giving us little snippets from the jury house, but like I don't think it's close. Like I think that they're just giving Mackenzie her flowers, and she is a great game player. Like she's physical beast, absolutely. She deserves what she gets. But like I think they see what Chelsea's done, and it's mastermind, and they realize like, okay, Chelsea's clearly pulling all the strings. Like she's the one who should win this game. But hey, Mackenzie comp beast. Like if she's against anyone else, she wins.
Yeah, so I would say anyone except for Chelsea, and I would agree we got a window to that when you had T-Court clearly say, oh, Chelsea was orchestrating it, even though Mackenzie was, oh, then maybe she should win. And then you had Quinn repeat it, and then you had Leah be like, yeah, like, I did think Mackenzie was my big ally, but Chelsea got in her head and did this, so I should vote for Chelsea. And I was like, that gives you a hint that, like, they're not just, even if Mackenzie gets up there and gives her, like, recites her entire resume of every single thing that she won, that the jury is at least aware that the decisions she made were all Chelsea's.
Well, at least at this point, they have had equal competition wins. So it's really has to be Chelsea because she's the only one playing the game. Like it's literally been Chelsea, Mackenzie, Chelsea, Mackenzie, Chelsea, Mackenzie. Like it's just been back to back for who's winning the HOHs and vetoes at this point.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? They're lucky. Chelsea's lucky about that. Because if she had not been left with Cam, who's doing nothing, and Rubina, who's not the strongest comp person, then Chelsea might not have won these last few, very like really quick, a bunch in a row comps. So then she wouldn't be equal to Mackenzie if you had like a stronger comp player. So that was maybe planned or maybe lucky for her, because that's totally right. I didn't even realize that Chelsea's now won as much as Mackenzie because of just the past quick whatever. There's a reason for it.
Chelsea won in the beginning when Mackenzie wasn't winning in the beginning. So I feel like it's definitely like their whole game resume has been those two girls just as like the beast, which I would love to see obviously them at the final two and they both win and split the money. That's the perfect ending for a 90s sitcom, isn't it?
I'm not splitting the money with anybody in this economy. Also, I now kind of want a Cam and Rubina final too as an agent of chaos, just to be like, just like for how hard Mackenzie played her heart out and for how smart Chelsea is, it would just be like hilarious to me. Like they deserve it. Chelsea really deserves it.
A win for Rubina is a win for Tucker. So
because I'm not winning, he'll just be like, please vote for me. Shout out to the dogs of the crib, and that's it.
Yeah.
Here's the real question for you guys. Who's going to win America's favorite player?
I mean, Tucker. It's not even like close
Do we
to
think
anything.
though? Like,
yes.
Angela's got a cult following.
Oh, so okay.
There's more people like Angela than like her.
There's a couple polls online about it, and the order was, I think, at last that I saw, their Twitter. This is coming mostly from Twitter, and then from a few different other ones. Is Tucker, then Angela, then T-Core, I think were coming in on most polls. But Facebook as a separate entity, the Facebook polls, Angela is so polarizing on Facebook, maybe because Facebook has an older audience or something, or that they're not as entertained because they're like her age. And I see all these people being like, act your age, I'm 50, I would never act like that, which I'm like, shut up, I'm going to be 50 in like a couple, 5-6 years, you know what I mean? So I'm like, don't tell 50-year-olds how to act. But like Facebook, actually, like they're polarized on her, where she has some super fans, but so many people hate her that she didn't come in anywhere on the America's favorite thing. It was like Tucker, then T-Core, then like maybe even like it was either Rubina or even like young Cedric, like somebody like that. But it probably will be Tucker. But I almost feel like Rubina now has endeared so many people and gone so far. Chemo, I don't know. It should be Tucker.
Give it to Crazy Eyes. Poor Crazy Eyes.
Oh God, give nothing to him.
Oh God, no, don't give it to Crazy Eyes. I'm thinking it has to be Tucker because we all love him. We still talk about him. Rubina would get, if the Tucker Rubina fans all decided to throw their votes at Rubina, she could get it.
Yeah.
But
I think there will be
because you know what they do? The Showman's fans, they all say, hey, we're all voting Jeff, or hey, we're all voting Jordan. I mean, I've seen it every season. Hey, we're all voting Cody. Hey, we're all voting. It's literally, they all push it like one way. So the Showman's fans don't try to split their votes up.
If people don't vote for Tucker or possibly Angela, but I would say Tucker, that CBS or the producers might engage in election interference. Because they know they can do more with Tucker for sure. They can put him on every show. And they know that Angela they could possibly do something with. And I feel like if Tucker doesn't win it, we might have to have a review, Supreme Court get involved, election interference. We might have to storm the Big Brother house.
Like actually, that's the only politics I will participate in this season. No.
We will storm the Big Brother house if Tucker's not America's favorite player.
I mean, I think he has to, and I like young Cedric, and I do like, like T-Core, and I like the cast in general. We all agree we like them, but it has to, except for that guy Kenny, who was a hot dog on the comics.
What was that, by the way?
Because he's sitting at a food truck, and then also there was something about sausage. I think production doesn't like him as much as America doesn't like him, so they were like,
not like him, obviously.
No, they're pissed because
he wants to go home.
They wasted a casting spot on him, and this guy was a huge fan that's always wanted to play, and then he wanted to go home in week 1. Like, they're pissed.
We had somebody quit on my season of The Apprentice, and they just like slaughtered her.
Really?
Like her edit. Her edit was like terrible. They slaughtered her. They didn't give her anything after it. She was barely, they tried to make her look like the worst, incompetent, and like horrible. They don't want somebody to quit. This is a spot someone's fighting for. So if you don't want to be there or you quit, they're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, it's 100%.
If you quit in a crazy, unhinged way where you rip your mic off and it explode, then production might not be as mad at you because you gave them something. But if you're just like, I don't want to be here, I think I'm going to quit, or just leave, then production is like, you just cost us money and wasted a spot and we hate you.
Yeah. And he was so boring. I think he promised he would be like interesting character. But he was not interesting as a character.
They thought at best case scenario they were getting oh my gosh, Cody and they were thinking they were getting Derek 2.0, who was a fake cop trying to be this older character and fit in and go to the end by lying about being a cop. Worst case scenario, you got Kenny.
Right. Exactly.
I also think that they thought that the Matt and Kenny connection was going to go further. But once you had like Matt out immediately, then Kenny was like, oh, my new fake adopted son / I don't remember, I think maybe from Boston, whatever. He was like, he's gone. I want to go home. And then their production, like, I think what they imagined was going to happen of like the father figure in him, maybe over Tucker, also from Boston, and Matt, that was like not a thing.
Yeah. It's just wild. And yeah, this cast though, as a whole, I will say this cast has been very, very good. There have been moments where, and I'd say once the more entertaining characters have gone, the season definitely let up, but then it allowed us to see the mastermind of Chelsea and the great physical threat of Mackenzie. So there have been aspects that, even though we lost the more entertaining characters probably earlier than we would have liked, we did get Angela for the majority of the season. Like, love her or hate her, she was a TV gold, and she at least brought something to the table. Like, would you want 1 million Angelas or 1 million Cams and Kennys? No. That's obvious.
No.
So, yeah, it's been a great season.
At the end of the day, we'll see, and we'll see Angela again. We'll see Quinn again. We're gonna see Tucker again. But you know, I think we'll probably see Cam again too, because he's really good looking. He'll probably be on the challenge.
What I was thinking is that they do still have something in Cam, and I'll stop it. I'll stop my Cam talk because, like, honestly, it's getting ridiculous. I just think that we just didn't. I don't think he's completely like misedited or like, you know, it wasn't truly representative, because he's not winning. He's not doing anything. He did try to game a little bit this week, like, you know, the previous week. Like,
he brought up good points too.
Wait, I was like, and it was very well thought out, articulated, and made sense. He tried, but then he didn't push for it. So I think they'll like him, and you're absolutely right. He's good looking, he's charming, he has a great smile. Women like him, and but you know what's funny? If they bring him back for the challenge, they're bringing a guy who can't win a single challenge for the challenge.
But we don't know that, because look, Amber won a full season of the challenge and didn't win a single thing on Big Brother. So,
and also
the challenge, I think, is so different.
Yes, and they'll just bring you on if you're a good-looking physical person. Like, it doesn't matter. You are on any show on CBS, you are a good-looking guy, good-looking girl, and you are physical, you're on the challenge. Done.
Yeah.
Because they can make diamonds out of anything. They can find things that maybe Big Brother missed, or maybe their gameplay on Big Brother wasn't what it would be on the challenge, and they can make diamonds out of these people. It doesn't matter.
And also, like, maybe it would be like one of those things where even if he gets in a showmance, it doesn't matter. You know, like, it's just like enough. He's good looking and he's fun and like a, you know, person that probably could do a physical challenge. So there you go.
Well, and look at someone like Josh Martinez. Like, he won Big Brother, but he's way more known now for being on the challenge, and he was laughed at on Big Brother. Like, yes, he won, but he was laughed at on Big Brother because he was kind of a joke of a player, and now look at the longevity he's had on the challenge, just as an example.
Wait a minute,
like, that
I didn't even know he was on Big Brother. Bobby, I didn't know he was on Big Brother.
Oh, you didn't know he was on Big Brother?
No.
I was in the crowd for Big Brother 19. You can see me behind his family and behind Paul's family. And I literally was there, and when he won, everyone was shocked. Like, production was shocked, everything. It was wild. And then I snuck backstage.
I think that was that season might have been when I was 16? What year was that?
Big Brother 19.
19?
Mm-hmm. It was 2018? 2018.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. I was completely...
I have to go in the 5 minutes. Okay, listen. Okay. We need to talk about how the Golden Bachelorette rolled out this week, because if we don't, we were missing out. So Joan is a queen, angel, honey, starlet. We love her.
Beautiful.
Obsessed. Beautiful human. Like, she could not be more, like, elegant and every good adjective.
I feel like Joan is like elegant me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I'm like a trash raccoon, but like I was looking at her and I was like, Joan would be like if I turned elegant when I'm older.
Literally, she's just like perfect. So this show, so it's great. They have this guy Pascal who's so hot, and he is like goes on a date, and they go on a date in Vegas. Which my theory is that they made this date just for Pascal, because like I will be honest, like this is the most Pascal date could have imagined. Like I think she said who she was going to take on the one-on-one, and they made a date just for him because it was so perfect. They're dancing away Newton, they fly a private jet, they like have the fast car. Like I think that was her like picture into her life with Pascal. What do you think, Jenn?
Yeah. I would agree, because they show him that obviously the military guy who she didn't choose is doing his laundry for him.
Yeah.
He's saying that he wants a cook and a house cleaner. I love Pascal. I honestly, if Pascal proposed to me today,
oh my God, I would say yes.
Yeah. I'd be like, we.
Yes.
Even though I know he's a Frenchman and he will take many lovers, I do not care.
Right. I know. No.
79-year-old Pascal who will cheat on my ass. I will marry you. Je will marry you.
Oh my God. And like seeing him like take off his shirt, and I was like,
yes.
What? You're like me.
I just pulled this guy up on here right now. I'm like, this is who we're talking about.
So sweet.
He's so of him.
Looking. He's I honestly, Pascal, if you're out there, even though I do have a boyfriend, I'm so sorry.
I have his phone number. I called him.
Get him on the phone.
He was one of our teams, and I will tell you, I know, right? He is just like, I knew as soon as I talked to him for 5 minutes, I loved him. I was like, no, this guy, and he told me he was going to win the heart of the Golden Bachelorette. That was what he told me, and I said, I believe you.
Because he's a good-looking, smooth-talking business owner who wants to turn, and to your point, to answer your question, I do believe that the sports car and the private jet and the Vegas and all that stuff was to give Joan a window into what her life would be like with Pascal. And he was also very affectionate and very attuned to her. I mean, it's very Frenchman to be like that. And then, have your 7 girlfriends on the side. But they were showing her, this is what it would be like with Pascal. So choose this if you would like.
And 100%, he was so affectionate. He was like, oh my gosh, you look so beautiful. I'm so lucky. Like kissing here, sneaking a kiss, a holding of hands, like all the things. It was so romantic. And then they had Wayne Newton in. I love how they bring in these people that are like so on brand for the Golden Bachelorette. This Wayne Newton was singing for them, and I absolutely love that. Then we get the guys playing kickball, which was like not lost on me that those poor men.
I kind of tuned out during that, but you know what? They always do their sports thing, whether it's the regular Bachelor or not. And I tune out during all those, and I don't know why. I'm like,
Well, and it's funny because Charles L is apparently on Twitter and on all the podcasts and the blogs, he is like the one that everyone's obsessed with. Which is also funny. He's our team as well. He's so sweet. And I love listening to his stories, and I love the relationship he has with the other guys in the house. I think he's being friend zoned by Joan. Like, I think Joan is friend zoned.
100. Yeah. I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure she kept him because he has a great story and great energy, and he's nice and people want to root for him. But I cannot imagine Joan, who is like still beautiful and has a lot of sexual energy and like whatever, is thinking, I can't wait to rip the clothes off of him. I think she's like, I think she would still even be friends with him after the show, like call him, check in on him. Like,
I see them having a relationship, and he seems like such a nice man that he would be that guy that would also call and check in on her and whoever she chooses. Like, and I think he'll probably be friends with all the other guys as well.
Me too.
Like, I love that the relationships that we see. I love that he pulled the doctor aside and asked questions. Like, I just feel like he's such a sweet soul, and it's just so nice to watch like that on TV. And these stories that we're getting are just like, so emotional. Then we see her go on her other one-on-one, which he is also an extremely good-looking man who has like an 8-pack, which is, it's so crazy how handsome these men are. But I don't feel like they have, I feel like she's like really attracted to him, but like I don't feel like they have the same energy with like Pascal or with she had with Chalk the other week.
Chalk is going to be like definitely a person that goes to a home visit and possibly
I think so too.
fantasy suite. Guy,
I feel like they have a great like friendship, but also like sexual energy.
I feel like she doesn't quite have it with Guy, the doctor, but I think he's good looking, and he's charming, and he's fun. I think he gets it. I feel like he gets far. I feel like he could be a home visit person.
I want to see her take him on a one-on-one. I want to see a one-on-one guy.
I feel like he's an on paper guy. Like, think about just in our real lives, who you're really attracted to, who you really want, who you really mesh with, and then there's like perfect the tick boxes on paper. I feel like he ticks all the boxes on paper, so he's gonna go really far. But like, I don't think that's where her heart's gonna go.
That makes sense. And I feel like with like Pascal, he's the guy that you're like, oh my God, I want to like and be with, but like he's probably a little bit like dangerous. Like, is he gonna actually stay with me? Are we gonna be in a like exclusive relationship? He's like the bad guy you like when you're, you know, in your 20s, or he's the guy that likes
this is who we're talking about.
Okay, that's the worst pick possible because he wore the ridiculous.
It gets better. It gets better. This is who we're talking about, guys.
Yes, 10-10 would smash.
Face too. Like, you have to understand, it's like the cuteness.
I left that out intentionally.
Yeah.
In most episodes, he is the most well-dressed, put together. He's extremely handsome. He looks like he's in his 50s. Not, is he 69 or 79? I was like, what?
I think he's 69 because I don't remember. We don't have any 79-year-olds.
Okay, then he's 69. I knew it was that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. Thin, flawless. Wait, Jenn Gary showed up. Wait.
Okay, yes, that's what I was going to say. Jenn texted me when we were watching.
Yes, I texted Rachel last night and was like, SOS on Gary and his tan. Yes. What is he's like tan? Not even like George Hamilton tan. If people, but he's like he's a threat, like terrorist threat level orange Donald Trump tan. He's I was like, what does Gary know? No, like what he's not. What I can't even with Gary.
And then like I felt like he showed up to be like, do you think that your guy is here? And then it was like, was he sad when she said yes? Because like she's like, oh, he's my friend. And I'm like, no, like he likes you. Like he still wants to be with you, obviously. Like he missed out on when Joan left. So I did not like that they brought him. Why did you bring him in?
You know my feelings about Gary. I feel like Gary is
no, I'm very sorry. I was so disappointed in the divorce. If he wouldn't have divorced Teresa, I would have like been team bring Gary in, bring him in for advice. Like, we love him. I don't care if he's orange. No, now I can say all the things that we think, which is like, no, Gary, just no.
Gary's the golden fuck boy.
Yes. No, he's not even though. Like, no, I think he's the golden like bad boy. He's the equivalent of the Bachelor that we all hate. What's the guy that everyone hates? That's
Nick
the one Bachelor. Which one?
Nick Reilly's one of them.
No, not Nick. The other one, the Latin one.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, everyone hated him because he was like didn't have his mind made up either. So that's the Gary of it. Like, no.
So Gary's going to be the next Golden Bachelor, essentially.
No, he was. He's the original.
He's the first
he's the original. See, that's how much I know.
At first,
I loved him, and then I was like, he is so fake. He is fake. He's so fake. And I don't mind somebody who wants fame plus also whatever. Then like when he showed up on the Kardashians episode, I understand it's a collaboration of Hulu, ABC, whatever. But there was like something about the way he like talked and the way he was. I do not mind fame whores. I celebrate fame whores. But there was something about it where I also was like, I feel like you were insincere with a bunch of women who truly you had their hearts in your hands. And that does inexcusable. And then he just shows up to randomly drop in on Joan like, hey there.
Yeah.
Do you think that your person's here?
No.
Yeah. No, she doesn't need you.
I did not like that. No.
Why are you so tan? Go home.
Yeah, he was tan. I feel like at the end when I was surprised that she didn't keep Kim because he wrote the song for her. So after he wrote a song for you, but then also like I think he's cute and he's like an ex-Navy captain. So I don't know what she didn't see in him that she let him go versus some of the other guys. Maybe she was just like, I just don't see anything in him. So I don't know. It was really, I was kind of surprised with her with that.
I think the problem was that he was in the middle. I think that you have characters that I don't think like you have the Charles, and then you have what is always like Flair wore the gold suit to the prom. Interesting.
Jack? Cannonball Jack?
No,
she let him go home too.
No. He had to. They were going to get rid of him. No, the guy, he wore the gold suit to the prom, and he is his name. Oh my God. I don't see any chemistry between them. I think she just also really likes him and sees him as a good friend. And he's a character and he talks a lot. And they have like the striptease. We saw that there's going to be like the stripping thing coming up. Yeah. I feel like when she had to make decisions, she was like, all right, there's people that I really truly can see myself being with. There's other people that are fun to have around. And unfortunately, he didn't fall into either of those categories because he could be a good match. But if she knew deep down she didn't have those feelings, I think she chose some more exciting, friendshipy, fun, exciting people over
that makes sense.
People that she knew deep down weren't going to be a good match, but like should have a chance theoretically, but she was not feeling.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, then I think I'm excited for the striptease. That's all I have to say. Like, this sounds very fun to me. I can't wait to see what little Charles L is going to do.
That's the problem is Pascal is hot until he does like what Bobby showed doing the thing like that. So I'm going to get the ick and now I can't marry Pascal. And now my life is ruined.
You can because Bobby showed one bad pick. It doesn't matter.
No, Pascal, he's going to do the strip thing next weekend and I'm going to get the ick and it's very hard to reverse the ick.
I think he'll be funny. I don't think he'll be gross because he has a personality. So I think it'll be a funny striptease, not like a gross one.
I have to take a depression nap because I'm not marrying Pascal anymore.
You on that?
Jen, we're going to find you a nice 50-year-old, not a nice 67-year-old. We got you.
I am dating a 50-year-old. My boyfriend is 50. All right, that is going to do it for us on this episode of Reality Queens. You can tune in next week for another fun episode where we cover Big Brother and all the other important things and my ongoing romance with Pascal. You can follow us on social media. Rachel, where do we find you?
At Rachel E. Reilly Viegas on Insta and at Rachel Reilly Viegas on TikTok.
Bobby, where do we find you?
You can find me at Goodsby Bobby on all my social media handles.
I'm at Jenn Hoffman High, and you can also find me bed rot, depression nap after this episode. And Bobby, tell us how we're going to pay the bills this week.
So check out Work Money and sign up for free right now. Join their $50,000 sweepstakes. Links below in the description. Go ahead and check it out. It's Work Money, more money. Definitely check that out, guys. And a big shout out to Work Money for the ad this month. Also, if you feel like donating to a great cause, please consider sponsoring Jonny Fairplay's half marathon. He's running in support of Homeward Trails Animal Shelter. The link is also going to be below in the description. His local animal shelter has an 83% kill rate. And so he's doing everything in his power to prevent that and bring that number way down since the national average is only 13%. It's absolutely absurd. So we're doing everything we can, and he's running a half marathon. He's hoping to run 13 miles. If you guys can, donate $1, donate $5 per mile, whatever you are able to do. You know, even just $1 is less than a cup of coffee, and it helps a great cause. So definitely check that out. Also, join our Patreon. If you want to see all this content or the challenge content, Survivor content, definitely check us out, realitypatron.com. No commercials. Check us out, support us, and it helps us keep this channel alive. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for us, for all of us here at Reality Queens. We will see you guys next week.